Children, what idea do you get from the video and this message? Yes, children, if we get support and motivation and we have such a strong determination, we can dare any obstacles before us. Am I right, children? If we get support and motivation and we have such a strong determination in our life, we can dare any obstacles before us. Now, read the excerpts given here. I do not come out of a literary tradition. I come from a tiny mining town in the rainforest in an island at the end of the world. My grandparents were illiterate, and I never expected to stand here before you in this grand hall in London as a writer, being so honored. Words by Richard Flanagan, winner of the Man Booker Prize for Fiction. Next, this moment is so much bigger than me. This is for every nameless, faceless woman of color that now has a chance because this door has opened. Words by Halle Berry, winner of the Oscar Award for the Best Actress. Next one. To be trusted is an ennobling experience, and poetry is a peerless proficiency of the imagination. I praise it, but am myself an observer. Words by Marianne Moore, winner of the Poetry Award. And the last one. For a true writer, each book should be a new beginning where he tries again for something that is beyond attainment. He should always try for something that has never been done or that others have tried and failed. Then, sometimes, with great luck, he will succeed. Words by Ernest Hemingway, winner of Nobel Prize for Literature. Now, children, can you identify the context in which these words were spoken? Yes, it is an award receiving ceremony. Who are the speakers? Richard Flanagan, Halle Berry, Marianne Moore, Ernest Hemingway, and they are writers and actors. And what are the popular awards and honors you are familiar with? Grammy Award, Nobel Prize, Golden Globe Awards, Pulitzer Prize, Booker Prize, Bharat Ratna, etc. Name the eminent personalities of our country who have won such international awards. Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Arundhati Roy, Rahul Dravid, C.V. Raman, Indira Gandhi, APJ Abdul Kalam, and so many great personalities who were awarded and honored. How does your school honor achievers among students? Children, our school honor achievers by giving awards and trophies. An award is a mark of recognition given in honor of one's excellence in a certain field. Children, do you dream of getting such awards? If so, what stands in the way of your dreams? Haven't you got proper support and motivation from others? Or are you facing any obstacles? Here, in the story, The Scholarship Jacket by Martha Salinas, the narrator, who speaks about the obstacles she had to encounter to make her dream come true. Let's know a basic information about the author. Martha Salinas was born in Colinca, California, and received a degree in creative writing from the University of California at Irvine. The Scholarship Jacket is one of several short stories Salinas has published in journals and collections. Children, first of all, I have to tell you that I just summarized this story for you. So, you should read the text very well after watch this video. At a glance of the story, The Scholarship Jacket. The story, The Scholarship Jacket, is about a girl named Martha who wants the jacket. Martha has worked hard to get this jacket, but is challenged to get it when the school wants her to pay for it. In the end, Martha gets the jacket that she deserves without having to pay for it. Children, this is the gist of the story. The Scholarship Jacket by Martha Salinas. The small Texas school that she went to had a tradition carried out every year during the 8th grade graduation. A beautiful gold and green jacket was awarded to the class valedictorian, the student who had maintained the highest grades for 8 years. The scholarship jacket had a big gold S on the left front side and your name written in gold letters on the pocket. Her oldest sister Rosie had won the jacket a few years back and she fully expected to also. When she was 14 and in the 8th grade, she had been a straight A student since the first grade and this last year had looked forward very much to earning that jacket. Her father was a farm laborer who couldn't earn enough money to feed 8 children. So when she was 6, she was given to her grandparents to raise. They couldn't participate in sports at school because there were registration fees, uniform costs, and trips out of town. So, even though her family was quite agile and athletic, there would never be a school sports jacket for them. This one, the scholarship jacket, was only their chance. In May, close to graduation, spring fever had struck as usual with a vengeance. No one paid any attention in class. Instead, they stared out the windows at each other, wanting to speed up the last few weeks of school. She absent-mindedly wandered from her history class to the gym. Then she remembered her PE shorts were still in a bag under her desk, where she had forgotten them. She had to walk all the way back and get them. Coach Thompson was a real bear if someone wasn't dressed for PE. She was almost back at her classroom door when she heard voices raised in anger as if in some sort of argument. She stopped. She did not want to listen that conversation secretly. And knowing what to do, she waited there. She needed those shots and was going to be late, but did not want to interrupt an argument between her teachers. And she recognized the voices. It was Mr. Smith, her history teacher, and Mr. Bode, her math teacher. They seemed to be arguing about Martha, and she couldn't believe it. She was really shocked, and she still remembered the feeling of that shock. I refuse to do it. I don't care who her father is. Her grades don't even begin to compare to Martha's. I won't lie or falsify records. Martha has a straight A plus average and you know it. That was Mr. Smith and he sounded very angrily. Mr. Boone's voice sounded calm and quiet. Look, Joanne's father is not only on the board, he owns the only store in town. We could say it was a close tie. And the only word hit heavily again and again in her ears was that Martha is Mexican. Resign. Won't do it. Mr. Smith came rushing out and luckily for her went down the opposite way towards the auditorium so he did not see Martha. Shaking, she waited a few minutes and then went in and grabbed her bag and fled from the room. Mr. Boone looked up when she came in but didn't say anything. To this day, she don't remember if she got in trouble in PE for being late or how she made it through the rest of the afternoon. She went home very sad and cried into her pillow that night so grandmother wouldn't hear her. It seemed a cruel coincidence that she had overheard that conversation. The next day, when the principal called Martha into his office, she knew what it would be about. He looked uncomfortable and unhappy. She decided not to make that situation easier for him, so Martha looked him straight in the eyes. But the principal was so nervous and he said, there has been a change in policy this year regarding the scholarship jacket. As you know, it has always been free. He cleared his throat and continued. This year, the board has decided to charge $15, which still won't cover the complete cost of the jacket. Martha stared at him in shock, and a small sound of dismay escaped her throat. She hadn't expected this. Principal still avoiding looking in her eyes. So, if you are unable to pay the $15 for the jacket, it will be given to the next one in line. She did not need to ask who that was. Standing with all the dignity, Martha said, I will speak to my grandfather about it, sir, and let you know tomorrow. Tears rolled down Martha's cheeks, and as she got home, her eyes were red and puffy. She then decided to speak to her grandfather about the sudden turn of events. She found that her grandfather was plowing in the field. So she went there and told him that it would cost $15 to possess the scholarship jacket and that she had to give the money the next day itself. The grandfather listened carefully and went quiet and then asked her what actually a scholarship jacket meant to be. The answer to her grandpa's question made her realize the insignificance of the demand for $15. The scholarship jacket was earned by obtaining the highest grades for 8 years. The grandfather with this question made Martha realize that it was not a matter of money. He then got back to work. As Martha prepared to leave, he asked her to let the principal know that he was not going to pay $15. Martha was deeply hurt and angered by her grandfather's response, even when she knew that he was right. The next day, she told the principal that her grandfather had refused to pay the amount, and he said, if I had to pay for it, then it wouldn't be a scholarship jacket. And she added, I guess you will have to give it to Joanne. By saying this, she was ready to return from there and was almost to the door. The principal called and asked her to wait. Then slowly he said, we will make an exception in your case. you will get your jacket. Martha could hardly believe her ears, and she felt to yell, jump, and run from there. And at the end of the day, Mr. Smith winked at her and said, I heard you are getting the scholarship jacket this year. That time, Smith's face looked happy and innocent. Without answering, Martha gave him a quick hug and ran to the bus. She cried on the walk home again, but this time because she was so happy. When she reached home, she ran straight to the field and said everything to her grandpa. She said that, Grandpa, the principal said he is making an exception for me and I am getting the jacket after all. That's after I told him what you said. Grandpa didn't say anything for this. He just gave a pat on her shoulder and a smile. Children, Joan, the student in the same school, her father had a higher social status than Martha's father. It would have benefited the school to present Joan with a jacket. Hence, the principal asked Martha to pay $15 for the jacket, which was meant absolutely free of cost. But Martha's grandfather was wise enough to understand this. The author explains this through Martha's grandfather's wise words. Then, if you pay for it, Martha, it's not a scholarship jacket, is it? Those simple words convey the message of the story. Winning this scholarship jacket is Martha's life's dream and the fruit of 8 years of hard work, dedication, and strong determination.